When it comes to image manipulation and the editing of graphical documents, Photoshop is the superior software for a number of reasons which I'll be explaining now. Now, as you can see, I'm dragging two separate images onto a blank canvas. Now, I can independently move each image around, which means that I can put the image where I want on the canvas, how I want. I can rotate it, I can skew it, I can resize it. It doesn't really matter. All we need to know now that it is being done independently with the use of this layer toolbar over here. I can specifically edit each picture how I want. So if I want to say change that one, I'd click on that from the layer toolbar, and this will bring the transform controls for this specific image. Notice that there aren't any around here as I'm only using this. As you can see in the toolbar, the layers toolbar, the image of 4 people is on top. That means if I drag this image on top of this image, it will sit on top as it's shown in the layer toolbar. But if I want to change this, I simply drag that image below that other image, and that will literally put it underneath that image, which I will demonstrate to you now. As I move it up, it will go beneath the other image as opposed to before when it was on top. This cannot be done in software such as Pen, as I will demonstrate to you now. I'm drawing a simple triangle which can be independently removed. However, it is the only image on the canvas. There is no layer toolbar and you cannot work with layers. So if I do draw another image, say this star type image, and it's overlapping the lines, Paint automatically merges these things together. Notice there isn't a cross to move both items at a time. So if I do want to move it, I will have to move them together. This is a disadvantage when working with multiple layers and images needing to be overlapped and moved around at the same time, as Paint cannot perform such tasks. Another thing that Photoshop can do is merge layers, which I'll demonstrate to you now. So if I'm drawing a map and there's a road here, road here, road here, and road here, and I'm perfectly happy with this road. However, when it comes to moving it, as you can see, these are separate images and I'll have to move them independently like this. If I do not want to do that, I can merge the layers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight all the layers by clicking that, holding down the shift key while I click on the last layer, and as you can see, it has put a big box around the whole image, which means it has selected all. However, it is not yet merged. What you need to do is right click and then click on merge layers. This will then make all the layers combine together to create one shape. Now as you can see, I'm moving the whole thing around by itself around the canvas without it falling apart. This can be useful when drawing intricate designs such as stars and flowers and so on, and when you are needing to move them around, you don't have to move each individual line. You can merge the layers and move the whole image to the other side of the canvas, or whatever you are wanting to do. Another thing you can do with the layers toolbar is duplicate layers. So if this were to be a road and I want the exact same road over here to, I don't know, compare a map or so on, what I need to do is right click the shape in the layers toolbar, which will bring up a set of options, and then as you can see there's an option saying duplicate layer at the top. If you click that, it will rename it for you as a copy, but I'll name it road copy, and then you click OK. As you can see in the layers toolbar, what you just named a road copy has come up as a separate layer. If you then click it and then move it, hopefully if you've done it right, there should be another duplicate underneath, and there we have it. Another reason why Photoshop is superior to other programs such as Paint is it has a wider variety of tools. As you can see in Paint, there are only about 6 to 10 tools, including the eraser, color picker, magnifier, text tool, fill, bucket, and pencil. However, when it comes to Photoshop, you have a much wider range of tools such as the lasso, which can cut out what you want. Not only is there one lasso, there are 3 subtypes of lassos. The same can be said for the eraser. There's a normal eraser, there's a background eraser, as well as a magic eraser, which when clicked on a certain color, it recognizes the color and erases any similar color, which I'll demonstrate to you now. As you can see, This image has a lot of green in the background behind the character on the left. So if I click on the eraser and hold it and go to the magic eraser and then click on the grass, it will recognize that there is a green. It will delete any similar green within the range of my click. So if I click it, hopefully it should get rid of the grass. And there you have it. I can also do it for this. I can do it for the orange, but I'm not going to do it. That is the magic eraser. Another thing Photoshop is very good for doing is updating. So if I use this brush tool, I have a selection of brushes here, a wide selection. They can be animals, characters, dress up face, or flowers. So if I click this flower, it will bring me a brush here. I can have loads of these, and these can be independent layers. Paint cannot do this. Paint will give you what it already has here. This is its selection and it cannot be updated. However, Photoshop brushes can be updated, new ones can be downloaded depending on what is needed. This can be gotten off the website of EasyBrush. You simply download the file, drag and drop it into Photoshop, it will automatically install and your brush will be ready over here in the shape options. The next thing I'm going to be talking to you about is the file format. Now, if I open an existing Photoshop thing, say for example my poster, as you can see it is a PSD file. Now, this can prove to be a problem, as if you are carrying the document on a portable hard drive and you use it outside of your workplace or home or wherever you have Photoshop, the computer may not have Photoshop and therefore will not read the file format and not be able to open it. There is a solution to this. You can save the image with a different file format. As you can see, the default setting is Photoshop PSD. This means that this image can only be opened with the software of Photoshop. However, if you click on this little arrow here, it will bring you a list of options. The most common image format will be JPEG. So if I save it as JPEG in the let me do that again quickly. I'll save that in my desktop as a final poster as a JPEG. You will see that when I go to my desktop, it will be there as a Windows Photo Viewer format, and it won't have to open in Photoshop. Whereas if I open it directly as a Photoshop format, it will be inclined to open in Photoshop itself, which is a problem, as one, Photoshop is an expensive software, and two, not all computers have the right ability to live up to the standard of the performance needed by Photoshop. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is image resolution. Sorry, canvas resolution. So if I click File, New, and a new blank file, as you can see, I can change the actual size of the canvas. So when I created my poster, I done research and found out that an A4 piece of paper was 21 centimeters by 29. You can also change the resolution, which means how many pixels per inch will be in the canvas. The more pixels means there will be a greater variety of colors being able to be displayed in the canvas, thus making better resolution in the image, as well as image clarity being improved. Image resolution needs to be planned, as I found out when I created my first map. I had set the resolution too low, thus when printing my map it became extremely pixelated and very rough and noisy around the edges. This could be solved by opening a new canvas in a new file and making the resolution higher. The image canvas size and resolution and all these things can be checked by clicking on image and clicking on image excuse me, resize, and then image size or canvas size. You can click on these and it will show you how big the canvas is. It can be relative or not.